Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be channeling from Chrysoprase. Chrysoprase, beautiful leafy green crystal. This is an excellent crystal to work with for cultivating gratitude, abundance, consciousness and mentality, creativity, but it's also deeply, deeply, deeply healing for feelings of insecurity, feelings of lack, as well as lack of self-worth. And also the lack of self-worth that really sort of translates into how we feel we're valued by others, valued by society, valued by our community. And while there are some teachings out there, or perhaps many teachings that say, what matters most is your own sense of value, which of course is to me anyway, in the system of belief that I espouse, is true, because when you believe in yourself, that's what then you create in terms of your reality, and more of that is reflected back to you from people in your life and people in your community. But you need to do the healing work sometimes to get to that place, and this crystal is a crystal that really helps with that. And of course it takes a certain amount of time and consistency working with this crystal, as well as working on what comes up for you in order to get to that place, but it's very effective. I'll share with you guys that years and years ago, when I was first starting on my crystal healing path and was feeling really quite insecure and was surrounded by people who were more established than me and everything else, feeling really quite small, I would actually tape this right over my solar plexus, and I would wear this on my solar plexus chakra every day, because that's where I really feel my insecurity. But then again, it also relates to our sense of identity and how we show up in the world and our feelings of personal power and empowerment. So it really made a lot of sense to tape it there, and it also felt really good. So I'm going to begin the channeling, and you may hear some light, strange noise in the background, and that is my sweet, fluffy dog, Finnegan, who is sleeping by my feet as I record this. And so we'll let those vibrations of puppy love come into this channeling. And what's interesting is the energy of, like, the frequency, the energy of this, crystal. Sometimes I feel things really high. They kind of like shoot up there right away, like with a quartz, tourmaline, dambarite, selenite. Or sometimes I feel my energy really kind of drop down into my body, drop down into the earth. This is very kind of sort of core, kind of middle point. I just feel this energy start to envelop and surround around me. And what's also interesting is I'm also feeling my solar plexus expand. We talk a lot about the heart chakra, expanding, but the solar plexus expanding can be very empowering, again, in terms of frustration, self-worth, feeling blocked, feeling like you can't move ahead in life, feeling like you get no respect, all of these things. And so that energy center kind of expanding feels really quite good to me at this point, because for myself this year, I've had highs and lows. There are times where I've felt really kind of beaten down by everything that's been happening. And then sort of this resurrection, this cycle that keeps happening. And so that feeling of expansion feels like opportunity to me. It feels like possibility. It feels abundant, like allowing myself more and getting back into the creative flow, because I consider myself to be a spiritual creative, spiritual artist, spiritual creative. And so that energy feels very lovely. And this isn't something that, this isn't a crystal that kind of throws you off center. As I said, sends your energy in different directions, which of course can be good things, depending on what you need. This is more steadying. And it's got a warmth to it. It reminds me a little bit of that warmth you can feel, that emotional warmth you can feel from peridot, which of course is another beautiful stone of abundance and gratitude. And these are themes that are coming up for me in this week anyway, because I launched, my free 3-day event, the Gratitude Project, and I'm just so looking forward to that. That starts next week. And so, that energy that I'm kind of orienting myself towards, and that's probably why I picked up this crystal. And let me just see what teaching is coming through in terms of its energy. So it's reminding us that we live on an abundant planet, and we have abundance within us. And it's saying right off the bat, this, a lot of people, especially in our society, can equate abundance with wealth. But abundance is so much more than that. It's actually the breath or the flow of the universe, that which breathes life into things, and the flow of life and creation through the universe. And it's showing how, our universe is just so full. Stars, galaxies, planets, and just even coming to this planet, and this planet's energy being so associated with abundance of life, of creation, of opportunity, of potentiality, of freedom, of liberty, to create, to share, to give, to receive. And what it's saying is we've become really tapped out. We've become really tapped out in terms of that feeling this year, with all, the constriction and all the constraints, and the lockdowns and the fears, and there's just been so much that has happened this year. And of course it becomes very energetically draining. But it's pointing out, of course, that this is victim mentality, this is lack mentality, and this is just sort of how we're naturally geared kind of to react to a lot of these situations, these circumstances. And it's reminding us of the choice of response. That frequency is all around us, that energy is all around us to tap into at any time. And it's really pinpointing how exceptionally healing that frequency is. It's like tapping into the juice, the chlorophyll of life, of the life essence, and allowing it to replenish you. And this is medicine that this crystal provides, and a lot of green crystals in general provide, which is why we associate so many green crystals with abundance, with prosperity. But again, it's going so far beyond that. It's like the green leaves on a tree, and that life juice that's in it, which again is that chlorophyll that's formed through photosynthesis. This is a physicalized manifestation of the energy that it's speaking of. So for those of you who feel like, my God, I need gobs of it, I need bags of it, let me dive into a swimming pool, hell, an ocean, of this energy, and let me just suck it into every cell. You can do that, because of course this is limitless. It's infinite. So it's not about there never being enough. It's actually impossible. It is an impossibility. And the more that we, engage with and embody this energy, the more others can, the more, that everything can flourish, can thrive. And things, the possibility in the future becoming rich with this energy and this frequency. In the very cells of our being, the possibilities include, greed just falling off the map. We don't need to strip the environment of every possible little resource. We don't need to take from some and oppress some. Because again, all of that comes back to that fear, that lack mentality, that belief that there is not enough, when of course enough is being demonstrated. And it's literally like we can just plug into that and let that energy flow in. And as it does, the co-creative mechanism that's in us, the possibilities, that becomes activated. The ideas, the opportunities, the synchronicities. People talk about their life path, and so much it's about career, vocation, providing for self, etc. All of these things, they start with that seed, that spark of energy, that idea, and then they grow from there. Oh, I loved that. And so that was the channeling from Chrysoprase. And it's interesting because for my gratitude project crystal, the crystal that I'm recommending people to work with is green aventurine, which is understandable. It's easy to find. It's inexpensive, and it's of course a beautiful, beautiful energy frequency to work with in terms of abundance frequency. But I'm going to add I'm going to add this to the list, Chrysoprase. And I think actually I'm gonna dig on this for a little while and wear this for a little while because I needed that. I thought that was really beautiful, and so I hope that that juiced all of you up. I hope that that was, beneficial for you. And of course, I will be back with more channeling soon. So thank you so much for watching. And if this spoke to you, and if you want to engage in more work and practices with this, my gratitude project. It's a free online community event. It starts next week. It runs from November 23rd to 25th. And I'll also be doing a live class during that, which is healing through the abundance frequency, what we've just talked about. And as I said, it's free, and everyone who joins also gets a 40% off coupon to all courses in my Crystalline Academy, including, yes, Pro Crystal Healer. So if that speaks to you, if you just want to engage in this more and embody this, then come join me and a community of so many like-minded individuals, and let's really get into this, embody this. So thank you so much, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon.